Biden announces, as I just explained, our 20-year national nightmare known as the war in Afghanistan is finally over, there's news that a new suitor may be in the wings. And that new suitor is, you guessed it, China. Here's Farron Franzak.
Rick, this global power has been watching the United States and the way it handled the war in Afghanistan, and it says it's learned from the U.S. and it won't make the same mistakes. This country, standing by, waiting to fill the vacuum left by the United States, is China. That's right. China will enter into Afghanistan via its Belt and Road Initiative. One source close to Afghan government officials says authorities in Kabul are getting closer and closer with China because they're eyeing a $62 billion China-Pakistan economic corridor. Now take a look at this map. You can see China has the project practically in every part of the country, essentially creating almost a new Pakistan. The plan will bring in new construction of roads, highways, railways, and energy pipelines between Pakistan and China to Afghanistan. You can see China even has other energy projects planned throughout the country that has all forms of energy: coal, hydro, solar, and wind. Another source with a close ear in the talks between China and Afghanistan, one project on the table that's still working out the kinks is the construction of a China-backed major road connecting Afghanistan and Pakistan, linking Kabul to Peshawar, ultimately adding Afghanistan into the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Now, what's interesting, Rick, China isn't now just looking at Afghanistan. No, it's been extending this economic plan to Afghanistan for at least 5 years now. But because the United States was occupying the country, the Afghan government hesitated joining in on the plan to not anger the United States. But with U.S. troops now set to leave by August 31st, many speculate China will be in good position to pick up where they left off, especially if the U.S. withdrawal leads to the Taliban coming back into power. Biden was asked about that this afternoon. Here was his response.
No, there's no mission accomplished. The mission was accomplished in that we got Osama bin Laden, and terrorism is not emanating from that part of the world.
Now, amid the pullout of U.S. troops, an Afghan government delegation met with Taliban representatives in Iran hours ago. A joint statement released after the talk said the Afghan government and Taliban agree that, quote, war is not the solution to the Afghanistan problem, and all efforts must be directed toward achieving a peaceful political solution. Now, the two sides also agreed to continue talks on achieving lasting peace, along with establishing an Islamic State. Now, the two plan to do that at a later meeting, but no mention of when or where that meeting will be yet. Now, at the same time, other Taliban officials met in Moscow. Russian officials have shown concern recently that a Taliban surge could destabilize the ex-Soviet Central Asian nations north of Afghanistan. The Taliban offered their assurances to Moscow and that they will not threaten Russia or its allies in Central Asia. So with Afghanistan waiting for U.S. troops to leave in a little over a month, talks are in place, plans are in the works, and while Afghanistan is saying goodbye to America, behind the scenes, Afghanistan is giving a very warm welcome to China. This as China continues to find and fill in all the gaps left from the United States, including its recent launch of a super train in Kenya, hoping to one day connect all of Europe and Africa with China. For the News with Rick Sanchez, I'm Farron Franzak.
Stuff, Farron. Good report. We went there to take out the Taliban. Didn't happen. Failure. They're still there. Number two, we went there to take out this dude named Osama bin Laden. Again, failure. We didn't. In fact, it's worse than that. I want to share something with you because I've been doing this for a while. U.S. military officials who were there in Tora Bora Mountains have told me repeatedly in interviews that I have done with them, Marines, that we had bin Laden in our sights. Right there, the first year when we went in. We could have ended the whole thing. The Marines, they spotted him, and they were ready to take him out until they called Washington and were told by Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld, no. Don't take him out. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Why? Apparently, they didn't want the conflict to end so soon. There was still stuff to do. In fact, they actually wanted to prolong it and expand it by going into Iraq, which is exactly what they did. So the result has been an unmitigated disaster. That is what the war in Afghanistan was. That is the truth. And unless we express this type of truth, unless we're honest about this thing as Americans, clearly the same forces that conned us into that disaster will do it again and again. Is there a consolation? Yeah, there is, I guess. And it's probably this: we're not alone. Afghanistan has come to be known as the graveyard of empires. The British went there, failed. The Russians went there, failed. And now America's gone there, and we failed. Who's next to try? Who's next to try and topple or control a country made of nomadic tribes and mountaintops and lots of rocks with very few targets, as Donald Rumsfeld once told me? That's next here on the News with Rick Sanchez, where we believe it's time to do news again.